Big game feel here at Old Trafford tonight. The holders of the Carabao Cup, Manchester United, taking on a new look Arsenal. Gregg Popovich versus Arsene Wenger. Round 1 is next. Good evening. And it is pretty much part 1 of an Arsenal double here tonight. The holders, Manchester United, taking on Arsenal in the last 8 of the Carabao Cup, I think it is, because I think it's the semi-finals next, and it has 4 if my maths is correct. Probably not. But in any case, Gregg Popovich kind of has a decision to make here, because he's got Arsenal twice, once here tonight, and then just a few days' time we have the first league matchup between the two of the season. Well, two players that have been pretty much shining on form are the two players that are rumoured to be involved in a swap deal. It's Alexis Sanchez and Henry Mkhitaryan. Rumours doing the round for the January transfer window that these two could be involved in a swap deal. It's a really bizarre report. But for the squad tonight, Romero's in goal, and he's with Darmian, Lindelof, Rojo, and Luke Shaw. My apologies. McTominay is with captain Aaron Henwood and Angel Gomez. It's Ashley Young and Mkhitaryan either side of Marcus Rashford. Most of the big names obviously making way tonight, preparing for the league matchup in a few days' time, you have to think. For Gregg Popovich's thinking there. Arsene Wenger's team, Petr Cech of course in goal with Bellerin, Monreal, Mustafi and Koscielny. The new signing, Televiziso is apparently, I think, the captain that just said. Elneny is with Xhaka and Sanchez is with Lacazette, and Elias Hernandez making, I believe, his first start with the club as well. Gregg Popovich is unbeaten so far, so it'll be interesting to see what he can pull out of the bag on this account, encounter with Arsene Wenger, now the longest serving manager in the Premier League, of course. Oh, an early cross, and Hernandez has put it wide, and a very early chance for Arsenal, and that's going to look worse than it probably is, but he probably should have scored. And Arsenal probably should be one up there. That's a very early chance, and that was almost a sitter for him. Hernandez, that is. But nothing doing. And he obviously has to put his kind of emotional ties to Arsenal for one side tonight. Not ready for him. But his unofficial wife, as he calls it. Mkhitaryan's in with the ball, and Rashford is collided with Mustafi, and he's got it away. Mustafi's actually trying to look around for a pass. No one was anywhere near him. Koscielny was able to pick it out there. Televiziso making his debut. I believe it's his debut. That's what the reports were saying. I'm sure he's already played. Came over from Valencia, of course. But yes, a really strange story involving Sanchez and Mkhitaryan, supposedly. We have a goal coming in from Brighton. They've taken the lead against Watford. And is that a penalty to Arsenal? It is. A penalty given by the referee, and I think... Is that McTominay? I think it might be. Yes, it is. Let's see this. And, well, I think it is a foul. I don't think McTominay can really complain, and neither can Gregg Popovich. And, I think it is a clear penalty. And it's Alexander Lacazette. Clinical. Not against Romero. That's a good save. Here comes Lacazette for the rebound. And Lindelof is right there smothering him. And he's won the corner. Terrific save from Sergio Romero. Look at this. He times it just right. It's a good save. Good hand away there from Romero. Brilliant save. A perfect number 2 to David De Gea, he's been touted, and that's why. It's not the best of penalties from Lacazette, to be fair, but Romero got there wonderfully. And the header is back in. And Arsenal, golden opportunity denied by Sergio Romero. And what a save from the Argentinian goalkeeper. Tasvico. Junk it to Elias Hernandez. Oh, he's got the ball off, I think it's Lindelof. And here comes Lacazette. And for another attempt. It's a great block by Rojo. Brilliant block by Rojo. Fantastic defending by Marcus Rojo. He deflected it twice. And here is the penalty attempt by Lacazette again. Great hands by Romero. But that was some fantastic defending by Marcus Rojo. in all that. And one Arsenal corner with Xhaka to take and headed away. Again, I think it might have been Rojo. Lacazette intercepted by Ashley Young. He gets it clear. Rashford's got pushed, but the Arsenal player is the one going down. Aaron Henwood has found Gomez, and Rashford has kept running, and Gomez has found it. Marcus Rashford, and the scoring machine put it wide. And wonderful play there from United on the counter-attack. Marcus Rashford just couldn't put it in the back of the net. It's unfortunate. Manchester United's counter-attacking football has been sublime for the most part. And Gomez has forced a throw. And Manchester United certainly getting on the passing game. It seems to be a thing of their game, the passing and the keeping of the ball. It's the keeping of the ball that's kind of the issue to a degree. Not playing really the simple pass, although Aaron Henwood knows how to play one. He's played in from McTominay. And Aaron Henwood there. He's only scored one goal so far. That was against Chelsea. And he had a penalty saved in the Manchester Derby Carabao Cup matchup, but there he's off balance and hit it with his right foot. We know how dangerous his right foot can be. And that is the end of the first half. A very entertaining first half, no doubt about it. It's had everything except goals. We've had controversy with penalties. We've had great attempts. Arsenal probably should be one up regardless, but the Elas Hernandez miss was quite wild, and a save from Romero from the penalty. And it has been all but goals here at the first half. At the break, 0-0 between United and Arsenal in the Carabao Cup last 8. It probably should be at least a goal here, but Romero's been inspired to a degree, and Manchester United have not been as clinical with their chances either for a change. 0-0 at the break. Manchester United and Arsenal. Gregg Popovich versus Arsene Wenger. It's been some contest with everything but goals, really. Chances either end. And Gomez has put on the turbo, as it were, and he's wide there. And how Gomez, he flew past his markers there. He just could not get the ball in. And Manchester United, who have been really clinical to a point, are actually firing wide here. And not this soon anyway. Well, just to confirm the previous fixture for you. It is Arsenal versus Manchester United as the December period begins. It'll be at the Emirates. So, obviously, both teams get home advantage in these next two fixtures. Fico. Intercepted by Mkhitaryan. Manchester United really reading Arsenal's plays really well. And a beautiful pass, Marcus Rashford off the post. And here comes Mkhitaryan back in towards Rashford and headed away. Oh, Manchester United coming within inches of taking the lead. Marcus Rashford off the woodwork. McTominay. Passes to his captain. And Henwood plays a great ball to Mkhitaryan. And now goes Darmian on the overlap. And Darmian puts it into the box towards Angel Gomez. Oh, it's a great save from Czech. It's his first save of the night. It's a great save. Gomez brought it down wonderfully there. Great reactions from Petr Cech. And everything is happening here in this game. It's been the most entertaining despite the no goals. Lacazette. Goal at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth are back in front against Huddersfield. They were 1-1 at the break. Watford turned it round against Brighton. And cleared, and Sanchez puts it out. Now the referee is going to take the opportunity to book Darmian for the rash challenge on Tagliafico earlier. I think it was the correct decision. And he misses the ball completely and takes Tagliafico out. Oof. It looked really rash from Darmian. Well, just looking as Santi Cazorla will come on for Granit Xhaka here. Arsene Wenger, what can you say? Unfairly criticised a lot in my opinion. But really, I don't think there's anyone better than him available right now. And the board is sticking by him despite the calls from the Wenger out brigade. It's really ridiculous in my opinion. The man's a legend, and there's no doubt about that he can still kind of perform with the best of them. That's a great save from Cech from Rashford, and Tagliafico heads it out for a corner. I think you have to applaud the Arsenal board for sticking with their man and not jumping to rash decisions. Aaron Hemwood, oof. And that's not the first time he's done that this season. Aaron Hemwood forcing a save almost from the goalkeeper in the last time that happened. It was after he went down from a knock, as Ozil has come on for El Neni. And Aaron Hemwood is getting closer and closer to a long-range spectacular goal. On that occasion, it didn't come off. Oh, he's Lacazette. Great bring down, great control into the box. And out comes Alexis Sanchez. It's over the bar. Aaron Hemwood only 2 shots, none on target it says, but that wasn't bad. And there's a great backup by Marouane Fellaini, but he's lost the ball to Ozil, and now Hernandez. Hernandez has played through, Lacazette is up, and he's missed it. Oh my word, this is the story of the night. Lacazette again, he probably should have done better. Romero was on-coveting though. But it is just not the night for goals, and I do believe it'll go to replays. Well, whatever the case, the game is going on. 7 minutes for the end of the game. Marcus Rojo has been tremendous tonight. Sanchez, oh, wonderfully done. Sanchez into the box. The ball is bounced, and sure as who did clear. Rashford's tried to bring it down under his control. Rojo is going to get nipped by Lacazette. Romero is going to save that one as well. He's been tremendous as well. It has been an enthralling game. And I'm not sure if there's going to be extra time at the end of this. But here come Manchester United with Zardes into Rashford. Oh, it's a save by Cech. And Mkhitaryan has put it in. But no, the referee has called for offside, I think. And what has happened? Well, Kalashnic has come on for Telfico. But what happened there? Was it a foul? Alright, so let's see what transpired in this play. Now, when Zardes plays the ball there, is Rashford offside? I think he might be just off. Now, Zardes plays this ball. Rashford gets onto it. It's a fantastic save by Petr Cech. There's no infringement anywhere else unless Rashford has hit Cech, and that's what the decision is. But I think it might be for offside because, again, when Gomez plays the ball here, actually, I think Rashford might be level. He might be level with the play here. I think Rashford might be onside. So Zardes plays the ball. Rashford's going for a ball. He's got his eyes on it the whole time. Cech's come out. Now let's go into a different angle here. Now it is a great save by Petr Cech, to be fair. Rashford goes there. It is a great save from Cech with his head. It's a fantastic save, and I think the decision is that Rashford. Let's see, because it could be an offside against Mkhitaryan, but Rashford doesn't play the ball to him. But oh, that's a great save from Cech with his head. Now, fantastic save. Now, looking at this, I think Mkhitaryan might be offside here when the ball comes off Cech's head. The play isn't reset, I think, although it really should be. Cech doesn't hit Rashford, so it's not a foul against him. And Mkhitaryan puts it in, but then the play is called and the ball doesn't count. But I'm not sure what for. If anything, I think it's because Mkhitaryan is in an offside position as the ball comes off Cech's head. But in that case, the play should stand. That's a very strange decision, but the game is still tied at 0-0. Now, what happens here? Do we go to replay at the Emirates, or is it extra time? Either way, we'll find out. But what an enthralling game, if so. 0-0 scoreline, an absolute cracker. Everything but a goal though. So decision is extra time then. Here we go. Another 30 minutes of play in an enthralling game. And we are under the, I think, so-called silver goal rule. So if a team scores, the game will still be played on until the end of the extra time period. if we're still level after extra time, and of course go to a penalty shootout. And well, it's been everything but goals, and there probably should have been at least one for either side. I still think United probably should have been ahead of the goal from Mkhitaryan, although I think there was a debate whether Rashford was offside when the play began. And Arsenal probably should be one up from the chance from Hernandez that went notoriously wide. And here comes Mkhitaryan, he's broke free of Sanchez, plays in Rashford. Oh. Marcus Rashford has not been as clinical as he has in the past tonight. He's having a bit of a, well, not an off game really. I mean, he was cruelly denied that spectacular shot with a spectacular save from Cech with the top of his head. And both keepers have been sort of sublime when it's mattered tonight. They've not had a lot to do because the ball has been flying wide of their post, both ends of the pitch. But when they have been called into action, Romero and Cech have done brilliantly. So, wonderful play from Aaron with wonderful reading from the middle of the park. Now here's Rashford. Marouane Fellaini is coming forward, and Fellaini, oh, and he's saved by Cech. And Marouane Fellaini and Gomez laid it off to Fellaini, which surprised me. But Petr Cech, absolutely splendid save. Two brilliant goalkeepers in goal tonight. Lindelof, Aaron Henwood, and look at the space Darmian has. Of course, the legs will be telling from both sets of players. Gomez and Mkhitaryan. Oh, he's put it in! Never Mkhitaryan has scored, and Manchester United have the lead after 107 minutes plus of football. Oh, well, we said one goal might settle it, and it might just go to the holders. And it has been coming for some time, and Henrik Mkhitaryan, that was denied a goal earlier due to a infringement, now brings that one down, and Cech has no chance of saving that one. Brilliant goal from Mkhitaryan, and it'll be just what they need, because obviously a lot of these players probably won't be playing against Arsenal in the league matchup. There's still time to play, but Gregg Popovich is going to keep his 100% record against the top six, and it's Henrik Mkhitaryan, the man who has been rumoured to be in a swap deal with Sanchez at the January transfer window from somewhere, and unknown where, but it sounds a real wide shot to me. But if that is the case and that is true, what an irony, because it's Mkhitaryan that's given Manchester United the lead with minutes left. And I thought Alexis Sanchez was going forward. That would have been a real story, wouldn't it? Sanchez scoring it the other way. Oh, and there's Hernandez, and Romero is going to grab it. Compete, and oh, they've wasted that one, and the final whistle's gone. Manchester United win one of the most great game of football this season. Both players absolutely earned their money tonight. What a great game, and it's sad that it had to end this way for Arsenal. They put in as much effort as United did, to be honest, but Henrik Mkhitaryan was the difference, and he made amends for his earlier decision that was chalked off by some infringement. We're not sure what it was. It was probably for Rashford being offside in the first place. What a game, settled by an extra time goal from Henrik Mkhitaryan. The holders are through to the semi-finals. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0 after a great game of football. And for the other two games in the Carabao Cup tonight, with Chelsea and Derby County to play later in the week, tonight's games ended with Bournemouth, whose miserable season in the Premier League appears to have some light in the Carabao Cup, as they beat Huddersfield by 2-1, and Watford, having their tremendous season despite going one down, really do have the comeback factor in their club. They won by 3-1 in the end, and of course that coincides with United's awesome game that ended 1-0 to United. Well, look at this draw for the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. It's going to be Watford against Derby County, who beat Antonio Conte's Chelsea. The champions are having a miserable year. Champions-elect Watford will take on them, and Bournemouth will take on Manchester United. It's part 2 of Arsene Wenger versus Gregg Popovich, in very surprising United squad looking to take him on in today's matchup. Welcome to the Emirates Stadium. Gregg Popovich is starting to raise some eyebrows when people looked at the team sheet this morning. But there is an underlying reason for the squad he's picked. The Champions League match against FC Basel. Gregg Popovich stating that I want to win this match and win Group A. There's been a change at the top of the table earlier today when Spurs, who are now 2 games ahead of Manchester United incidentally, now have the lead at the top of the table, but a win today would send Manchester United straight back to familiar territory. The best defensive team in the league, Manchester United, only conceding 10 goals. It definitely is better than it probably looks, or it looks worse than it actually is rather. But today's defensive look really actually is going to raise some eyebrows. Is Gregg Popovich just looking to consolidate his Champions League position? For Arsenal, Petr Cech starts in goal from the Carabao Cup, absolute thriller. Bellerin is with Monreal, Mustafi, Kashani and Tagliafico. They're most of the squad from last time as well. Xhaka is with Elneny, who both played in the Carabao Cup match, as did Hernandez, Lacazette and Alexis Sanchez. So there's almost no change from the team that competed in the Carabao Cup matchup, I think. Interesting. Gregg Popovich, on the other hand, has changed his team completely. Romero actually remains in goal, in a bit of a surprise. It's Benjamin Henrichs with Smalling, Rojan Williams and Ryan Bertrand in the defence. Herrera is with Mata and Daley Blind, and the front three is Zardes with Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Ramadan Solby, with a lot of big names once again missing out. Aaron Hemwood is probably one of the others, along with Marouane Fellaini, making the team from the Carabao Cup matchup. Unfortunately, they'll be conceding a lot of goals too, but that's a different subject for a different day. Well, Romero, obviously, continuing on from, oh my word, and that's Xhaka with an audacious attempt. While Romero comes out, he's not really hurrying to get back into his line because his man is in his way. That's Chris Smalling. Blind. Zlatan is making a run in front of Daley Blind, and Daley Blind's going to shoot. Oh, almost a stunning goal from Daley Blind. Look at Manchester United's play. They've certainly taken a lot of what Gregg has been telling them on board. He's been telling the team to keep the passing simple and not to push so hard, and they're really benefiting from that. Gregg Popovich is getting his message across, and I think the Premier League, like I said earlier, is going to be fearing the name Gregg Popovich for too long, because this man has got his sights set on winning at Manchester United. The typical Gregg Popovich attitude. He doesn't know how to win, and he doesn't know how to manage his squad to do that, and he's doing it. Manchester United and Gregg Popovich is quite a fairy tale story, isn't it? Never would have thought it in a million years. Gregg Popovich, loyal servant to the San Antonio Spurs NBA organisation. So loyal that he stepped down. He said, look, I've taken this team to the places and I've reached my ceiling. I can't take them any further. And rather than put the team in decline to this organisation that I gave so much of my love to, I don't want to be the reason for their decline. But I also want someone new to take over and have a measure of the success I have. And a few weeks later, Manchester United signed in with the whole story of their own, with the stepping down of Jose Mourinho as the manager. Reasons unknown, and still unknown to this day. Gregg Popovich came in as a head coach and he's making waves now. 3 minutes added on time, and much like the previous matchup against these two just days ago, it's 0-0. At the front, there's a great pass from Zardes to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Petr Cech is having a lot more to do this afternoon than he had in the first encounter. But when he did, was called to the plate, he saved really well, especially from Rashford off his head. That was later chalked off a goal from Mkhitaryan anyway. Marta with the corner, and it's Chris Smalling. It's clearing the ball away, and finally we have the half-time whistle. Much longer than we expected. I'm not sure what happened there. Mata had to forcibly clear it to make it work. Well, much like the Carabao Cup matchup, 0-0. Petr Cech has been the busier of the two keepers, but he's kept them out as he does. And, well, it's almost a rematch of the Carabao Cup. 0-0 at the break, but a point would do wonders for Manchester United considering the 120-minute slog that they had against Arsenal last time out. So Gregg is certainly taking a point considering his team as well. 0-0 at the break, just like last one. Bertrand is going to get booked by the referee. What on earth? I haven't seen a lot of what Bertrand did wrong. And there's no replay. So Bertrand has been booked. While that's going on, it's Ibrahimovic, Mata and Rojan Williams going off with James Wilson, Aaron Henwood and Victor Lindelof. And, well, that's bizarre. I'm not sure why Bertrand's been booked. And, wow. Well, we'll never know. We'll have to wait for the referee report to kind of see that. But I didn't see a lot what Bertrand had actually done wrong. Shit. And it's gone out for a goal kick. 3 minutes of added on time. And these Arsenal fans, well, they're cheering for their team, but I have to say that Arsene Wenger is playing the exact same squad he played in the Carabao Cup just days after a 120-minute game of football. It wasn't the best move. Gregg Popovich has utilised his depth well, and he's going to earn a point against Arsenal, which is probably what he was hoping for considering the squad. He wants to focus on winning Group A in the Champions League, because Group A is an interesting one. Manchester United, despite looking like hordes of advantage over Benfica in the group, Manchester United is still second. But they need to do their part and then hope Benfica drop points against Moscow. Sanchez, saved by Romero, and Arsenal just cannot beat Sergio Romero again this afternoon. A point earned for Gregg Popovich, and Arsene Wenger probably has to take the blame for not using his depth, to be honest. Playing exactly the same squad that played in the Carabao Cup and started that matchup and played 120 minutes of football, most of them. And I think the tiredness actually told, and Gregg Popovich earning a very tactical point here as he heads into the Champions League match against Basel, wanting to win that group. So in round 2, it goes to Gregg Popovich in ways of tactician, if not on the scoreline this time. Arsenal 0, United 0, just like it was at the end of relegation in the last matchup, but unfortunately, in the Premier League, there's no extra time, so the points are shared in this one. Okay, so we're taking a bit of a different look here. We're actually going to look at all of yesterday's scores. There was no concurrent matchups with our live match today. So we'll start yesterday's look at the results with a look at Brighton, who beat Liverpool by 2-0. And then even though Antonio Conte won against Newcastle, it was no easy feat, as you'd probably expect, but the champions finally do get another 3 points on the board, winning 3-2 against Newcastle United. Everton beat Huddersfield by 2-0. It was a 0-0 draw at Leicester City and Burnley. Manchester City beat West Ham by 2-1. It was the same scoreline as Stoke City and Swansea City. Watford, and there's the reason for Watford Spurs leading the table. It was Spurs actually beating them yesterday by 1-0, so Watford sadly lose again. West Brom drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace. Here's the updated Premier League table after today's game. So it's Spurs with a 1-point lead at the top, and Manchester United finally get back ahead of Watford, or they were in the first place, I think. It was Spurs that jumped both of them into the lead of the table. Everton in the top 4. Southampton get ahead of Liverpool. A lot of the regular top 6 are very far out of position, and it's Manchester United that are really benefiting from it. Liverpool in 6th, Chelsea in 8th, Manchester City in 11th, and Arsenal in 12th. A lot of the top 6 is very out of position. Leicester 7th, Swansea 9th. Brighton go into the top 10 for the first time this season. West Ham go behind Arsenal and City. Stoke City is 14th, and Crystal Palace is 15th with Newcastle. And Huddersfield now on the bubble of the relegation zone, as goal difference keeps them out against West Brom, Burnley and Bournemouth, who after 14 games are now 10 points from safety with only 5, and survival is looking a bit glim for them at the moment.